Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Saturday morning. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Saturday morning, guys. So, I got a conviction to share this recording. Now, I've spoken on this maybe 2 or 3 times in the last maybe 3 or 4 months, but never like a full recording, I don't think. But I got some downloads that I want to share. God is calling us to get fit. God is calling us to get fit. Now, again, remember, fit doesn't always equate to weight. Of course, for some people, it does for different reasons, but fit does not always equate to weight. You can have people who are naturally thin, and they're just as tired all the time and draining. They're out of breath. They're not fit. Where you can have some individuals who are plus size. Maybe take Lizzo, for example, but her energy level is through the roof. And again, I'm not speaking about weight, if weight is good or bad. I'm speaking more so less about fitness level, activity level. So, okay, listen, I'm just going to be honest. I'm just sharing this from a spiritual standpoint because fitness is just not one of those things I'm passionate about, if you will, right? We all got our stuff. Some people are very passionate about it. They have all the ins and the outs. And there's people like me who bring in my personal trainer when I want to get fit. In fact, one of the pictures that you're probably going to see, I may add in different pictures throughout this recording to kind of show my my fittest self versus having too much fun. Having too much fun, right? So, yeah, but here's the thing, especially for my women, we fluctuate. Many women fluctuate. I always fluctuate between that 15, 20 pounds. Like if I'm really on top of my game, I'm on my game. But when I'm slipping and I'm having too much fun, right? Too much champagne, too much eating unclean and not really paying attention to what I'm eating, then that 15 and that 20-pound mark will sneak up on you and you don't even realize it because it happens so subtly. And so maybe you take a picture and you be like, wait a minute, why am I looking like Teletubby? Like, hold up now. Oh, I got to get it together, right? That type of thing, right? But women, we naturally fluctuate. So with that being said, we're getting older. All of us are getting older each and every day. So if you're a woman and you have not hit menopause yet, you got to be thinking ahead, right? No disrespect to my women who are menopause. I'm just trying to make a point here, right? You got to think ahead. So it's like, let's just say you're 30, for example. Okay. Then you have to also think about, well, one day I'm going to be 40. One day I'm going to be 50. One day I'm going to be 60. So if I already know that menopause, I think they say it as weight. I don't know why. I guess it's maybe something with the hormones. But if we already heard that menopause adds weight and it's even hard to get it off, even when you're working out, then that's kind of something that you want to jump ahead, right? Speaking of that, it's like, I think what happens with people when we start working out, including myself, we don't see results like right away. So you have a person, let's just say they started working out in June, right? And working out is really not something, this might be their first time, right? So they expect to see results by August. So now by August, they're very disappointed because they're not seeing any change at all. And then they just revert back and just say it's not worth it. No, it's literally incremental. You got to take small steps at a time. And then over time, you will actually see a difference. So people who've already been able to get that weight off, you know yourself, it takes time. For me, it just depends on how hard I go in the paint, right? Because I can go hard in the paint. I love lifting weights, right? I dislike cardio in the form of gym. Like, I don't know who invented the treadmill, but people like myself who need like, your your attention span is like, you get distracted easy. I don't know who invented the treadmill, honey, but I ain't got time. But I love the elliptical. But for me, it really takes about a good solid 6 months to really see a change. Now you start to feel different within your body. You feel more energetic. You feel your clothes may even feel better. But to say take a picture, right? For me, it takes about that good 6 month mark. And that's probably about a good 20 pounds. So I just want to encourage those of you who are trying or you're just starting, don't get discouraged because you don't see results in a matter of 2 months. I mean, you didn't get the weight on in 2 months. So don't get disappointed and discouraged within yourself. Also, I know everybody can't hire a personal trainer, but if we do what we want to do. Don't get your nails done for 6 months, right? Take that money and put it towards your personal trainer. Because I think people who've never had a personal trainer, you're going to need a personal trainer. Because what we tend to do is we want to stop early, right? Right? You know you're supposed to be 30 minutes on this elliptical, but listen, 15, I ain't got time, I'm tired, I got to get off, right? But a personal trainer is going to hold you accountable. So I think it's important to get a personal trainer, but once your personal trainer shows you everything, you really should like be taking notes and you kind of know what you should be eating, what you should not be eating, right? So then you can kind of fall back. But if you feel yourself slipping again and you feel like you are taking the shortcuts or you're not really pushing yourself, then it's good to have a personal trainer. But everybody can't, personal trainer is not inexpensive. So to really get yourself started, maybe look into a personal trainer or YouTube videos. Like typically I go to the nature trail and go hiking and stuff like that. But if I don't, then there's a lot of great apps on YouTube, videos on YouTube. Just type in, I don't know, let's just say you're heavy, you might be 400 pounds. Then type in, you don't want to push yourself to the level of somebody who's been working out, for a year. So just type in first time exercise videos for plus size people, right? Or level 1 for new workout sessions, things like that. You got to play with it, but you will find something that works for you. Because a lot of people have an issue with going to the gym because they do feel like people are looking at them or making fun of them, especially if that person has been taunted and bullied in school. So everybody don't like going to the gym. So don't allow that to be an excuse any longer, because you can work out. There's things you can literally do right in your own home. Like seriously, really, truly. So get very creative with that. Use Google, use YouTube. It will be your best friend. But I think God is really pushing this fitness level, at least the way I'm receiving it, is because, again, he's about to start using people in ways that's going to require you to be energetic. You're going to be hopping on and off planes. That can be for yourself or for your partner. You're going to be hopping on and off planes. You can't, listen, you can't be sitting down, every time you walk 25 feet. No, we got to go. We're going to miss this flight, right? So it's more about building that energy level. More than weight is how I keep getting it. Also, what I keep getting from a spiritual download is the enemy is going to target your health. The enemy is going to target your health because remember, the enemy is very strategic. This is why we get hit in different areas when we're going through warfare. Sometimes he attack your finances. Sometimes he attack your family. He attack your children. He'll attack your mental. So if we already know he attacked different areas, then he's going to target your health. Because if he targets your health, you ain't going nowhere. You're not about to be up on no plane when you, seriously, so he's going to target your health. So I think God is really giving us these downloads. And I've seen a lot of people who I listen to, or people who I know personally, they're getting the same thing. So they've been on this fit journey at least since I think maybe summer or March or something. I started back in March. Starting to eat more clean, working out more, things like that. So between him targeting your health and you giving him that entryway, right? For let it be diabetes or let it be high blood pressure, let it be whatever other diseases that can spark from heart issues, cardio issues, things like that. He's going to target your health. You got to get ahead of it, right? Because we are not 20 anymore. We just can't be out here just thinking we can do the same things that we did at 20. So let's talk about a few things. Again, listen, I am promise you, I am no fitness person. But when I want to get in my best shape, let it be because I might have an event coming up or something like that. I actually have a personal trainer. She actually competes. She's actually a bodybuilder. And the reason why I chose her, She's been my trainer for about 4 years, but I mean, I don't train often. Again, it just really depends, right? Because sometimes I just want to have fun. So once the quarantine hit, honey, I wasn't thinking about, no, you're not. So I just been having a good time. But I got convicted earlier this year. Start getting back fit. Start getting back fit. Think ahead. Because I think either there's a Bible scripture about it or something I got downloaded from the spiritual room a long time ago where God will have us looking younger in our later years versus younger years. I don't know if that's the scripture, don't quote me, but I know I received that one way or another. And if I'm honest, like personally, and maybe you guys as well, I feel like I look better now than I did when I was 20. Like I even feel better now when I was 20. So listen. I was telling somebody just the other day, black don't crack, but them knees gonna crack. Say what you want to say. Black don't crack, honey, but them knees will crack. I don't care how young. I think my brother-in-law, and I was speaking about this a couple of years ago, and it's so freaking true. I don't care how young you look. Your body is going to remind you. Your body is going to remind you, seriously. Like those of you who like a good cocktail, yes, cocktail. Listen, when you was 20, you can have a cocktail all night, pop up the next morning like it's nothing. Now, listen, if I had one of those nights, I'm resting the whole next day. Say what you want to say, judge your mama, because I ain't got time, right? Okay, so no matter how young we look, and your body is still going to tell you, you've got to move your body. You got to move your body. I have patients who are in their 70s and their 80s. And when I tell you, still do yoga, like still do aerobics, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Those muscles are going to start tightening up on you, right? You're going to get a humpback. Lord, you've got to move your body. But it's important to not think about next year. Like, oh, well, I'm just going to get fit for the next 6 months so I can look good in my wedding dress next year. No, think about it long. What's going to make it a lifestyle is if you look at it long term, forever. But if you're looking at it like, well, God said I'm going to get married, so I'm going to go ahead and get this 20 pounds off. And then when the wedding gets here, right, you don't get comfortable and now you back. And now the man is like, well, I mean, when I proposed to you, I mean, you were a little, and now you want to, just take me as I am. You love me come on, listen, it is what it is. It's reality, right? We got to come up out of denial. We have to come up out of denial. It's important for us to take care us. It's important for us to take care of ourselves and of our body. So don't see it as this short-term thing. See it as a lifestyle forever. See it as, I'm going to be the most fit 70-year-old. I'm going to be the most fit 80-year-old. Like you see that stuff on social media. You see people in their 80s and 90s who got a six-pack, right? So have that mindset, then that way is going to help you to embrace it long-term. Next, there's a lot of ignorance, and ignorance is not a bad word. That just means not knowing in our community, right? Many of us just weren't taught certain things. Right? They're feeding us processed pizza in elementary school, right? So, we don't know. We don't know. But remember, you're chosen. You answer the call. So as chosen people, you're typically called to go in a different direction than most. So you're going to be responsible for doing your research, right? You're going to be responsible for learning certain things. Speaking of that, please understand that that's also a process. Like when you see people reading labels and stuff like that in the grocery stores or whatever, when you start seeing people read labels, like don't get all frustrated because you're like, well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. It is literally a process, not just losing the weight and getting fit. It's a process to understand what is healthy and what's not healthy. Heck, some of the things that you were taught even now that is quote unquote healthy is not healthy. I'm learning now because I'm big on whole food. I'm learning now that some of the things that they sell is not even healthy. So now I'm looking into the farmer's market. So it's this ongoing thing. But start small. You will be amazed at how the small things really affect your life. Believe it or not, sometimes it's the ingredients. Oh, tell me why I just literally saw a picture, a clear white picture of grape Kool-Aid and somebody pouring a whole bag of Dixie sugar in that Kool-Aid. Sis, you will be surprised that a lot of people lose weight by changing the things they put into their food. You can actually lose weight without working out. You do know that, right? Because what you feed your body is more important than the working out itself. But the working out itself, right? The walking or whatever, that's what's going to give you that energy and really build up your cardio, things like that. Build up your I don't know. But as far as just losing the weight, sometimes, a lot of the times, it is literally the ingredients in your food. So let's just say, for example, like me, I like a good crab dip, right? I like a good crab dip, but I can't put cream cheese in my crab dip, right? I mean, I can, but I don't, right? So I substitute it with Greek yogurt. And I know you're like, oh, heck no. But listen, hear me out. When you take that Greek yogurt and you spice it out with some natural spices, you would not even know the difference when you taste it. If I didn't even tell you that it's Greek yogurt, right? Instead of mayonnaise, Greek yogurt, right? Instead of this, use that. Instead of this, use that. You wouldn't even know. And even if you have a slight taste difference, you will get used to it. So much so that when you go to eat something again with those ingredients, you wouldn't even want it because either it's too sweet, it's too this, it's too that, it's too salty. So your body has to get used to it. So you may not love what you're eating, but the more you eat it, you will get used to it. So don't take a chip that is dairy-free and gluten-free, which are the chips I use if I'm going to have chips, right? Dairy-free and gluten-free. And it may not have as much crunch. I don't know. It may not be as much bulky and thick and have all that heaviness. So don't just take it and spit it out. No, eat it. Keep eating it. And before you know it, you're going to be like, you know what? This is not bad. And now when you go get a Dorito, honey, you don't want that Dorito. You don't even want it, right? It's too salty. It's too this. It's too that. So start Googling healthy ingredient replacements when cooking. Another thing that I like to do, this is me, is I like to do green smoothies. Stop adding sugar. You don't need to add, why are you adding sugar in your smoothies? The fruits are already your sugar. So you make a good green smoothie, right? Typically I use spinach or kale, avocado. I'll throw some fruits up in there. I am not a banana person, but bananas are good for smoothies because it makes it really thick. So it makes it more like almost like a milkshake, right? So it makes it really creamy. Of course, some fruits and some other things. I might throw some turmeric in there and other stuff, right? Just Google healthy green smoothies recipes. Get yourself a good blender and you can have protein. Of course, protein and some chia seeds and some couple other things. But if you Google it, it'll give you healthy things to put into your smoothie. And you may be like, I've never even heard of this. Put it in there. Put it in there. You won't even know it's in there. Just put it in there. When you drink it, you're probably going to frown like, it doesn't taste like Kool-Aid. It's not supposed to taste like Kool-Aid. That's the whole point. But the more you keep drinking it, right? Even though you don't like it, the more you keep drinking it, your body's going to get used to it. Next, please leave those if y'all don't stop with those sodas. If y'all don't stop with those sodas, let me just tell you something. You're probably going to lose 100 pounds in a month if you get rid of sodas, right? Sodas got so much sugar in the soda. Now, granted, that doesn't mean you can't drink a soda every blue moon. right? I think that's also another thing. You gotta things like people want to pull things out forever. No, because now it's gonna be like now you're depriving yourself. So have a cheat day, right? Friday is mine, but let a day be your cheat day or your free day where you can have everything you want. So now you know, oh, I'm gonna get me a pack of Coke on Fridays. Like you can look forward to it versus drinking soda all throughout the week, right? Now, I have an advance here because I absolutely love sparkling water, plain sparkling water. A lot of people don't like sparkling water, right? I guess it's no sugar in it. It's like soda without the taste, right? But get a plain sparkling water, or get the ones that have flavor, or what you can do is you can get the plain sparkling water and then drop some real fruits in it, let it be cucumbers or some strawberries or whatever your favorite fruits are, and then just let it sit or mash them up into that sparkling water where you have some type of taste to it. It's not going to taste like soda, but the more you drink it, the more you get used to it. If you're addicted to sodas, because sodas are addicted, sodas are addictive. Sugars are addictive, just like crack. Stop judging crackheads when you got a sugar and sweet addiction. Addictions are addictions, period. If you have an addiction to sodas, it's going to be hard for you to just stop sodas today and never look back. It's going to make you want sodas more because your body is literally dependent on that sugar. So I would encourage you to, let's say you drink a whole 12 pack of sodas per day. And some people do. I know somebody like that. They literally drink, like, seriously, right? Okay, so today is what? Saturday. Drink 11 today. Drink 10 tomorrow. Drink 8 the next, like, and so on and so on. So you're weaning yourself from it, right? And you may even go through some withdrawals, like people go through withdrawals with coffee, right? You have to wean yourself from it. So you're lessening that sugar more and more, and you're lessening your addiction upon that thing more and more and more and more. So when you get down to 2 sodas and 1 soda, you'll be like, I don't even need sodas. I don't even like sodas, right? You got to wean yourself from it, but you got to start trying, because God gives us grace and God really helps us more when he sees that we're truly trying, especially when it was things that we weren't taught or things that we were ignorant about or whatever. God will literally start to help you. And then when you start cutting out those small things, then you start understanding how to read certain labels, or you can just Google it. What things should I look for when reading labels? One thing that's very, very, very common is that high fructose syrup. Listen, you talking about diabetes. And of course, sodas typically have that in there, or even juices. A lot of the juices that's quote unquote no sugar. If you read those labels, the one thing you want to stay away from a lot of things. I'm still learning some of the things, seriously, a lot of the things. Something just popped into my head about Ludacris. I was speaking to somebody who know him, and he was telling me how he wouldn't eat anything. Ludacris will not eat anything. This person actually works with him. Will not eat anything if he does not read that label. He don't care about time frame, about this. If he does not read that label, he's not going to eat it. Look at Ludacris' skin. Look how fit he is. And I think Ludacris is definitely in his 40s. So it also it amazes me too on how the things we put in our bodies really help our skin and stuff, keep us looking youthful. I know I've heard people say going vegan. Listen. Now listen, let me just tell you, right? No disrespect to my vegan folks. And speaking of that, now I want to say this too, as far as weight wise, excuse me. Going vegan doesn't always help with weight loss if that's your target, right? This is why you can see vegans who are still overweight, because it's not really always about that. It's more or less about the certain things that you're putting into your body that keeps you more healthy and clean, things like that. Now, there's a lot of stuff that I can ride with on that vegan train, right? Like no pork, but honey, bacon. Crispy bacon. Don't give me no soggy, soft bacon, honey. Crispy bacon? is my guilty pleasure, right? When I'm weaning myself, people say try turkey bacon. It does not taste the same, right? The same thing I was saying earlier, right? It doesn't taste the same, but I won't lie. The more and more I try it, it gets better, right? It gets better, but it just takes a made up mind for me to just completely say, So between that, honey, and them oxtails, Lord Jesus, is oxtails pork? No, that's beef. But anyway, but there are certain things that I can ride with, and then there are certain things that I still kind of. So I'm just not on the vegan trail yet, but maybe one day I'll get there. Shouts out to all my vegans. Let me know if you're vegan in the comment section, and how it's going for you. Alcohol. Listen, you will be, yes, alcohol. You will be amazed how much weight alcohol puts on your body. Alcohol, not like it literally even makes you look like, it makes your face looks really like full, right? Like swollen. Alcohol puts a lot of weight on you. So if there's any of you who like a good cocktail, like myself, right? You got to change your ingredients if you're going to have a cocktail. I mean, it'll be best not to have any, because when it comes to weight loss, like seriously, that's probably going to be one of the first things that you have to cut out, like completely, or like you can have a glass of whatever on your cheat day. But alcohol itself puts a lot of weight on you. And believe it or not, it's not even really the alcohol so much. It just depends. It's the ingredients you put into it. So let's just say you like a good margarita like myself, right? When you go and get that margarita mix, honey, look at them ingredients, right? But there's an organic margarita mix that I like that only have 3 ingredients, literally 3 ingredients. You want to look for ingredients that only have a couple of different ingredients. But when those ingredients start having like a whole a whole novel, a whole encyclopedia, honey, right? So you're going to have to change the things you put in there. So instead of putting all that sugar and all that stuff, right, let's just say it's a good margarita. All right. With your tequila, you might want to add some sparkling water and then add some fresh lemon, some fresh lime, some fresh oranges, right? Because you're going to get your sugar from the fruits. No, it's not going to taste like Kool-Aid. But the whole point is the more and more you drink it, then it's not all that heaviness of all that sugar and all that other stuff, because the alcohol itself is already fattening. So adding all the extra ingredients just makes it double worse, right? And then there are some alcohols that are better, not good, right? Because no alcohol is good per se, but better than others. Vodka and tequila happens to be, I'm a tequila girl if I'm going to have a cocktail. I'm more of champagne and wine, right? But tequila and vodka are going to be the best choices, not great choices, but the best choices in putting sparkling water and some type of fruit in it, versus all that margarita mix and all that stuff. But if you stop, like if you're a person who you drink a lot, if you stop alcohol, that weight will literally fall off of you. That weight will literally peel off of you. What else did I write down? To those of you who don't like the gym for whatever reason, I just like the gym as far as weightlifting. Find something that you love to do. Walking, it will be your best friend. Find like an area, especially like if you love like nature or whatever, find you a good nature trail in your area, or just Google where do walkers walk near me, right? You'll be surprised that there are like literally walking trails and parks right around you that you don't know about, because they're kind of like confined in certain areas. But just walk, right? Walk, pick up your speed over time, right? You may have to sit down and do what you got to do, but just start and work yourself up to it, right? It might only be 10 minutes for you at first, just depends on what you got going on, and then keep increasing it. And you'll be at 30 minutes. You'll be at an hour. But then you're having a good time because you're connecting spiritually. You're in nature, right? So find something that you love to do. Go take a walk at the zoo. What do you love to do? What is your hobby? Find a way to incorporate moving your body within that hobby, right? Stop parking in those people handicapped. You don't even have a handicap sticker, right? Park, even if you have one, park to the back rows and get your walking in that way. right? Take the steps instead of just taking the elevator all the time. There are so many little different things that you can do to really start to move your body. I think that's all. But I just wanted to help somebody again. Listen, I am not the person who's like have any type of personal trainer, like all this information or whatever. I'm kind of just giving you what I've learned throughout my trainer when I do have her throughout just whenever. Another thing really quickly too, it depends on your goal. Everybody doesn't want to be a size 2. That's not me. Listen, I am very well with being thick. Have always been thick all my life. So somebody like myself who is thick and the goal is to keep it toned or to tone up and build muscles, then my food choices are completely different from somebody who may be a size 22 and they want to get down to whatever size they want to get down to if they want to lose weight. Your meals is completely different, right? So this is why, again, Google will be your best friend. Just whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are, just put it in Google. It will tell you, right? So you just want to put on muscle, right? You have to do less cardio. Thank goodness for me, right? You have to do less cardio. You got to still do some cardio, but you got to do less cardio. And then because really to build some tonus, you're going to have to lift heavy, right? You're going to have to lift heavy, but you got to eat a lot of... I love oatmeal, so it works. A lot of oatmeal, right? A lot of jasmine rice, or even brown rice. I just can't get with the brown rice, but jasmine rice. A lot of lean meats, a lot of like fish, salmon, chicken, white meat chicken. A lot of spinach, right? A lot of spinach, things like that. And then you have to eat more. So you're eating when you're really not even hungry. Lots of protein. So you're not even hungry, but you might have to eat like 5 times a day. Rice cakes as well. Eat like 5 times per day, even when you're not hungry, because you don't even feel hungry, especially with oatmeal. It's like, I'm not hungry, but you got to eat, right? That's why those personal trainers are so great, honey, because I don't want to eat, right? But you got to eat. But then somebody else who want to lose weight, right? You don't care about bulking up or getting muscles. Then you have to count calories. Right? You got to count carbs, all that stuff. It's a lot, but just start. Just start. Change the trajectory of your family. If you don't let your kids go through what you've been through. If you're somebody and you were bullied in school about your weight or whatever, first of all, I think most people got bullied to some degree. It may not have been weight, because it could have been this, that, and third. But if you're somebody and you know what you went through in school when it came down to weight, don't let your kids go through that. Put your kids on now, because if you start teaching them better habits now, then that's going to follow them. So pull that corn cheese, right? The corn cheese, like the big puffy kinds, Cheetos. Pull that, start like implementing healthier brands. Go to Whole Foods. They have a whole section of chips that are way more healthy. It'll be good to just stop chips altogether, but come on, like, let's be realistic here. But like, you can really start, like, if you're, okay, say you give your children a bowl of Cheetos or whatever for lunch. I don't even know. Start putting some of the regular ones in there, but then mix it, right, with the healthy ones. And then keep putting or adding more of the healthy ones over time until they really get used to it. When you start eating certain kind of chips, and listen, let me tell you something. Some of those chips, especially the pretzels that like are at Whole Food and they're way more healthy, some of those things actually taste the same. Some of them taste like a paper bag, but some of them literally taste the same. You will be surprised. Take yourself on a Whole Food or a farmer's market spree. Google before you go so you can kind of know what you're going to look for or whatever. You will be surprised the things that you literally start to like when you just start to really implement them into your daily life. Water. I don't like plain water, right? Again, I'm a sparkling water girl. But if you happen to like plain water, people always say things like, how don't you like water? How can you not like water? I don't like water. Like plain water. Like, right? I need some bubbles or something, right? But you guys have a great weekend. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.